Let's not do that. Okay, so we are recording. So everyone, thank you so much for joining us here today. I am Randina Marie, the Queen of Rapid Transformation, and I am here with Lily Jensen, who is the founder of the Path to Abundance. And I found you. I'm so happy that you're here, actually. I don't even remember exactly how I found you, but I think it was through Carrie Samuels. Do you know Carrie Samuels? She does the numerologist.com and
yes.
So she had this course that was, I've known her for a really long time before she even got online, but she has this course called the Abundance Angels. And so I did that. And then at the end of the Abundance Angels, there was like a link that you could click on. And so I clicked on that. And then there was a free thing that you had that was like, it was a meditation or something that you would listen to that was talking about universal, support and love. And I would listen to that every single day. So then I'm like, who is this woman? Finally, after listening to it for like 3 weeks. And so I clicked on it and went to your website and then saw that you did Money Reiki. And I was like, oh, I need that. So then I did one of the sessions with you. And the thing that blew me away about it was that you know how you send the summary back about like what it was. So I love rose gold. Like rose gold is my color, and I've always been working with it. And when you sent your description back, and you were like, I don't know why, but rose gold came through, and that's what I was, using for you. And I was just like, shut up, all this stuff, but then when it like comes around, you're just like, wow. So that was the first time, and then the second time I was playing with Money Reiki symbols, and then you sent another review. Another description of what it was, and you said
write-up of after the session.
Write-up, right? And so you said they want you to start, use the symbol. I don't usually give this to people to use, but they want you to use it. And I was just like, no, I've been doing like what I even sent an email back. I think your assistant got it or something. So then the third time was with the vortexes. Like just not too long ago, you were like, I just started playing with vortexes, and they want me to use the vortex, but I'd already been using vortexes for like 3 weeks before that. So I was just like, oh my gosh, I have to have you on a class.
Oh.
I have to do this with you, because not only is there no way that that's coincidental, but it also just proves so much how we're all connected, especially the ones who are tuned in, who have a heart of gold like you do, who really, really do have that inspiration to help other people and to use your power to channel that energy in through to their field. So it does work. It worked for me. I noticed inclines immediately, and it doesn't matter how much money I have. I love receiving, right? The more I receive, the more I can give. So I wanted to have you on this class because I wanted to share you with my group. So thank you so much for being here.
That was beautiful. Thank you for, see, I didn't know all those details about your experience with it. So thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
So happy to hear that. And of course, luckily I know that it's not me, right? It's source energy flowing everything through me. And I step aside, I put my ego aside, my ego that would love to claim, oh yeah, it was all me.
The funny thing is, before you go forward, I just want to say something. So I've actually been working on this too. And because we want to just give all the credit to source. However, we had to have the asking for that to happen in the first place.
Oh, absolutely.
So we are the channel that the divine is flowing through, and we are the divine. So it's all of us doing this together. So I have to start allowing myself to be grateful, for that, because we're not receiving that in an ego way. It's more of a, open and flowing. So just that little tweak will help.
Absolutely, 100%. And I agree with you. And thank you for saying that. I say what I say because it helps my ego just keep in its right place. You know what I mean? And absolutely, the cool thing about the universe is that there are thoughts and ideas and inspiration, and all this incredible stuff is floating around there, and it's ready for us to be a receptor. So you absolutely are, and I am, and everybody is. We all have the opportunity to be that receptor and to have that divine information channeled to us, and then we can go on that inspired guidance and inspired direction. We can take action in our lives to create things. Like, look at the cell phone hadn't been created however many years ago, 30 years ago, or whatever it was, And so anything that's in existence now that maybe wasn't for everybody who's with us today. I don't know how old everybody is, but like when my dad was a kid, TV was not in existence, Anything that's in existence now that was not before came through divinity, you know, giving that information to somebody who then took action on it. So
Somebody
that's
who
what I
wanted
see
it,
what you
they
and
were
I do.
asking, right? Like it's somebody that wanted it that was asking. So
Yes.
I am thanking you for being that asking, you know, to do this for people, because it really is so amazing. I love it so much. So let's get centered with our heart centering. So everyone just close your eyes and tune into your heart and take a deep breath. And just breathe in that purple light, that pink light, that gold light of love. And let's call forth the angelic realm to be here with us now, to flow through us, to awaken us to new levels of our being, to maybe flow through some things that we may not have been listening to that we are ready to hear now. So just set your ego and your critical mind to the side, just by saying, I set my ego and my critical mind to the side, and I tune in to the truth of my inner being. And I hear all that is true for my soul, and everything else I just let go. And let's create a sacred space. So I surround us all with the white light of divine love and flow through the angelic realm to dissolve all lower energy frequencies and tune us into the truth of the light of love. And may we be the divine channel for each other and for this realm that we came here to be. And I say these things in love. Amen. Okay, so I have some things I want to know. What is Money Reiki? How does it work? And also, how did you decide to make this your life's purpose? So that's going to be like the basis of the conversation. So however it flows, get into story and let's just kind of roll with it.
Absolutely. So, and I'm getting a little bit of a message here saying that my bandwidth seems low. So I hope I'm not coming across as choppy to you.
No, not for me.
Okay, good. And now let me see here. I've lost the side there bar. Okay. So for people, I'm sure that with the people who are with us today, some people have heard of Reiki, regular Reiki, and maybe some people have not. Regular Reiki is an energy healing modality that was created, gifted to, I say created by, but actually gifted to, divinely channeled to a Japanese gentleman many, many years ago. I think it was in the 20s or the 30s. I can't remember now. I'm also a Reiki master, but I don't use that in my business. I use it, you know, I just use it sort of in my personal life.
Yeah.
And so, but it's been so long since I did my training, I can't remember the exact details. But anyway, so Reiki is a form of life force energy being channeled to somebody through a conduit, through a channel, such as you or me, the Reiki master or the Reiki practitioner. And there was a lady in 2005 named Stephanie Braille who was a Reiki master, but she started to wonder, she was divinely guided to start inquiring about Money Reiki and whether or not this could be used for money purposes. She was struggling a lot with money in her own life, and she just started, as she opened up that query, she started getting all this incredible divinely downloaded information to her about how to practice Money Reiki, how to use it. And so she started feverishly writing down everything and working with it and practicing it. So Money Reiki really was not in existence in this form, at least that we know of, prior to 2005, and it was gifted to her through divinity. Mm-hmm. I've always really been interested. I come from a history of having a lot of poverty mentality and a lot of money challenges. I was raised by a mother who was raised during the Depression, who held on to her poverty mentality, and she instilled that in me and my brother and our family. And I really struggled a lot with money in my young years, into my maybe early 20s, mid 20s. And so money has been an area where I've really wanted to shift things around. I've been working with energy principles and spiritual principles and energy shifting for many, many years. I was luckily also raised in a spiritual family rather than, you know, we were raised with open-minded spiritual principles. I'm like a hippie from Los Angeles, you know, that's how I was raised. And so, at least I was also raised to have an open mind and question things. So I really wanted to turn my money energy around, really wanted to have a different experience. And that's kind of started my path looking into abundance as a principle, abundance as an experience, and then more specifically money. I've gotten really, really good with all of the different modalities that I use. The Secret came out, I guess, 10 years-ish ago, something like that. And I had actually been listening to Abraham Hicks. I heard you mention her a little bit earlier, or Esther Hicks, the teachings of Abraham through Esther Hicks. I've been listening to those principles starting in my mid-20s when they were on like cassette tapes. The workshops were on cassette tapes. Yeah. And she was the only person teaching these principles at that time that I knew of. Yeah. If there were other people, I wasn't aware of them.
Not the way she's doing it. The way she's the only one doing it the way she was doing it. But there were other people that were teaching, but not the way she was doing it.
Okay, gotcha. And I was listening to this information and I was trying to apply it in my life, and I was having very hit and miss results with it. Mm-hmm. And when The Secret came out, I realized it answered a question for me. There was a component of the law of attraction that I wasn't aware of, that I wasn't practicing, just because I was not fully understanding her information at the time. So after The Secret came out and after other teachers came out, I started to get better results, really, really consistent results. And I started achieving my own goals and dreams, and I really wanted to help other people do that. So with the principles that I've been using. So I started my own business, which was truly scary for me because I was not an entrepreneur type.
Yeah.
And as I walked down my own path of many different, energy healing modalities, I'm trained in EFT, I'm trained in Ho'oponopono, I'm trained in, Reiki. I stumbled onto Money Reiki, and it just sang to my heart because I was already trying to help people with money principles. Yeah. And as soon as I found Money Reiki, I was like, oh my gosh, I totally want to do this. And I found a Money Reiki master who I could work with, who could attune me. So that if for anybody who doesn't know, Money Reiki attunements happen the same way Reiki does. If you're familiar with Reiki, you would do some studying and some learning about it, and then you would be attuned by someone who's already a Money Reiki master. Mm-hmm. So I jumped in and wanted to do that as quickly as I could. And then I launched my website, the Money Reiki website. So I have other websites and I have other products and ways that I help people, but the one that speaks most to my heart is Money Reiki and helping people with money. So Money Reiki is an energy clearing and healing technique or practice. Our experience of money comes from several places. We have our own personal money energy. There's our tribal money energy, and your personal money energy can be a combination of your early life experiences with your family. It can have some ancestral lingering blocked energy that might have come to you through your ancestors and through anything that's not been healed or resolved. But there's also tribal money energy. So on our planet, we've all decided that money is the currency that we're going to use to barter for things, right? And through the process that we use money, it has had a lot of negativity put on it, unfortunately, through negative, quote unquote, practices, greed, war, poverty, just all these different negative energies. I kind of also almost don't like to use the word negative, but it's really kind of just, it's a quick way to understand. People using money in the wrong ways, or not from their heart, There's been so much of that that's gone on in our world for so many years now that money energy is not neutral anymore. Money energy has a lot of negativity attached to it. Now, what Money Reiki healing does is it helps to heal the negative energy that's tied to money, and it elevates money back up to the spiritual energy of money. So the spiritual energy of money, it vibrates at the same frequency as pure love energy. Mm-hmm. And as you know, and as probably everybody on our chat today knows, love energy is one of the highest vibrating energies.
It is the highest.
So the spiritual energy of money vibrates right there. Absolutely. So with Money Reiki healing, what happens is any blocks that you have, any energetic blocks you have to having your own personal energy aligned with love and the spiritual energy of money will be healed, removed, unblocked. And I don't know, I can't remember, oh gosh, Randina, there was a session recently. Well, there have been a few sessions recently. So every session is different because I'm just the conduit, right? I channel the healing to each individual person in the session, and then I get a download of information to pass along to everybody. And it usually, I usually describe how the healing went and what was involved, and then the message that came across, the channeled message that came across. And excuse me, there are times where the message has a lot to do with love energy and not necessarily money energy, even though they're almost interchangeable. They operate at the same frequency. Mm-hmm. Have you been on any of those? Have you received any of those write-ups where there was so much more information about love and using love as a...
For me, I understand that you have to be at the vibration of love in order to have those beautiful experiences that you desire to have. So it is interchangeable. Like you do have to vibrate at the level of love if the money that you are desiring is at that level too. Because when we visualize ourselves and we want money, it's because we want to feel better. So if you can feel better, then you'll have that happen for you naturally. So yeah,
absolutely.
And I love it.
Absolutely. You have to be the thing that you want to attract in. You have to energetically be it.
Yeah.
And then it will come right to you. It's amazing how fast that can happen when you're aligned with it.
Yes. Really.
So Money Reiki aids in unblocking what's blocking somebody from having more money in their lives. And it's specifically, abundance and prosperity and wealth can mean different things, but money means money, and Money Reiki is about all those things, but it's really about having money show up in your life.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. And I could tell the difference in the times when I was able to just lay there and receive versus the times I was like busy going. So, when you do them at the specific time and then I was able to lay there, I could literally feel it happening. So it's really an amazing thing. You are a beautiful channel and a beautiful conduit for this divine flow of energy.
Thank you.
So I would really love to see that, like you really harnessing that about knowing that, like, rather than saying just a conduit, like kick that just word out and just say, I am a beautiful conduit, because you really are. Like you really, really, really are. And I have received so much benefit just by having your influence of energy in my life. That's why I wanted you to be here now, and then, share you with my group too, so that they can also feel the same thing. And it's $25 each time. That's nothing compared to what you get in return for that. So I want everyone to do it. Like everyone needs to experience it.
Thank you for saying that. And it's actually cheaper than that if I offer a 3-pack and a 6-pack, and I think the 3-pack, if you buy the 3 at once, it's $20 a session, and if you do a 6-pack, it's $15. That's one thing that's really super important to me. Is I want to, all of my products and all of my tools are priced at a very low price point, because I never want money to get in the way of somebody having access to the tools that they should be able to have access to.
Yeah, and even for me, even though, how abundant I am and all the money I do have that flows in, I buy the packages because I want to keep that flowing. It gets better and better and better and better.
Yeah, absolutely.
You never just stop. You know, it's like, so you got to keep going and keep moving, because you move up levels, and then it literally is like a video game. You move up levels, and then there's a whole nother construct of limitations and, you know, expansion that you have to harness and become and surrender and flow. And so I will do it forever.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Yeah. You know, I'm amazed. I mean, I love hearing the feedback that I get from people, and thank you for expressing your experience. And I've heard from people who definitely feel the energy, and people, that's another thing, is you might feel the energy in different ways at different times, as you know, based on where you are on your own path and what's going on in your life, even in the moment. Some people experience the energy as a really strong vibrating energy, and it makes them feel energetic. And some people feel it like it's making them tired. Some people don't feel anything at all, even though they were awake and meditating, and that's perfectly fine. Every experience that everybody has is exactly right for where they were at that time. There's no right or wrong way to receive energy.
Right. For me, I know that when I do energy work, I always receive the feedback because I ask for it. So after I do energy work on somebody, because in my programs and in the packages that I always offer the distance Reiki, the distance divine effect healing sessions as well. And then it'll only take me like 2 minutes to just say a prayer for someone and, you know, command Archangel Michael to bring them abundance, you know, whoever it is that you believe in. And then they'll post something like, oh my gosh, were you praying for me? This happened. And so it's a constant like feedback of this really working. And so it's beautiful because I understand the science behind all of it, because I've spent my life studying the science. So I know that we're all one and we're connected to this infinite field of intelligence, that there is no disconnection. Everybody is one. And so when you have an intention for somebody else, they receive that intention always 100% of the time, especially since we communicate with each other at the subconscious level 95% of the time. So I just love what you're doing. And I love that you are a positive imprint in people's life. It's just so amazing to even be able to experience that. So thank you again for having that option for us to be able to tap into that, to have you, you know, be the beautiful channel that you are, because it really does work. Like it 100% works. There's absolutely, anybody has any doubt in their mind, just dismiss it right now, because there's absolutely no way. The 3 times that you could have done your report, and all 3 times that you did it, was exactly what I was working on the week or 2. I know.
I hear that. Yeah, I hear that a lot. I've had a lot of people write back and say they were blown away that exactly what was in the write-up was, you know, either they had experienced those colors or that thing that is sort of like the topic of the session, or something similar to that. It's really pretty uncanny. I don't know why I still get really giddy and excited every time I see a synchronicity, you know, in the world, even though I believe in them as, of course they happen. Of course it's, you know, we've got such an amazing, intelligent source energy running things, you know, of course it's going to happen like that. But every time it happens, I still get really tickled and happy and excited.
I know, me too, but I love that. I never want that to go away. I always want that. Like, I make it a daily thing where I'm like, okay, universe, today show me a blue butterfly. So I know that we're like dancing, and then I'll see the blue butterfly and I'll get so excited, you know. And I remember when I first started this, I was dating this guy way back then. He's like, I've never met anybody that gets so excited over seeing hearts like you. Like, he's like, you find them everywhere. You find them in the ground, you find them in your pasta, you find them, like, how is this possible? And I'm like, you'll figure it out someday.
It is fantastic. And speaking of, love your bringing up the butterflies. There was one time when I was early on in my practices, I was deciding something like you're still doing it, which I actually think is brilliant. I think I will take on doing that again. I used to do the same thing where I would decide something that I was going to see or experience that day as, you know, proof of keeping my energy aligned with it and looking for it. And one day I chose butterfly. And it was the dead of winter where I lived, like snow and dead of winter. And I was out running errands that day. And I was like getting a little nervous because I'm like, holy cow, why did I pick butterfly? I should have picked something, you know, easier. And I was starting to get a little scared and nervous, like not trusting, of course, that the universe would deliver. And my very last errand, I was a mile away from my house. I got behind a car that had a license plate, that the actual license plate said butterfly.
Yep.
And I was like, oh my gosh, of course, that's amazing. You know, it can just show up in very creative, amazing ways. But what we declare and what we align with is absolutely going to happen. We've got to keep our energy aligned with it. That's the trick.
Alignment. That is the key. That is the key.
Yeah.
I even do things that are like hard that I know are not going to be easy to manifest. Like one of the things I wanted a symbol for, I know who my soulmate is, and I'm like, you know, bringing that into my reality. And I'm like, okay, if this is it, then show me a white unicorn with wings that has pink on them and a rainbow, right? And so I was like trying to make it hard. The next day I had screenshots on my phone. I had at least 15 of them. The very first message that I received in the morning was a llama that was white, but it was a unicorn and had pink wings. And it was like, I am effing majestic, right? Like my friend sent that to me and was like, this is totally you. And I'm like, no way. And so it's really fun to get in the flow of that, especially when you're so divinely connected to that force of the universe that you know it's supporting you. So the first thing is to get into alignment, is to clear all those limiting beliefs around not being supported and all the ego of mind that tries to tell you that you're here alone and all that stuff, so you can really start to play and dance with this energy.
Exactly. I love that. And that's why for me, at the beginning of our talk today, that's why I talk about putting my own ego aside, because my ego is what can sometimes get in the way and have me either looking in the wrong places or coming from fear-based energy or scarcity, you know. And so
what the ego really is that primitive brain. It's your primitive brain that has learned how to keep you safe. It's not against you. It's not something that's trying to take you down. It's trying to keep you. And the reason is because, like you had, you know, the depression, poverty, energy, all this stuff, it's going to keep you in that state of being because it thinks that's how you're going to survive. So when you learn to make the ego your friend and soothe it and nurture it and heal it, because the ego really is just those fragmented parts of you that are wounded, and heal it, then it becomes your friend and it starts working for you. You know, it starts looking for things that are going to support you because you've switched it and flipped it around. But that's, I mean, that's a whole nother topic. But that's what I've learned to do. And that's why everything in my reality supports everything that I'm doing, and why I'm inclining so quickly. I mean, so quickly. It's been like a matter of, you know, just 4 to 6 months where I've gone from, you know, 6 figures to now on my way to 7 figures, you know, in this short amount of time, right? So it's like all the stuff that we can do, all the money Reiki we can do, all the healing we can do, all the transformational stuff we can do. We have to do it all so that we can really just be liberated to be who we truly are, which is how we were born to be in the first place. So thank you for facilitating that, because it does make it a lot easier when you have someone else that is helping to use that energy to clear your channel so that you can be free of it.
Yeah.
So I love it. I love everything that you're doing, and I'm so glad that I get to share you with all of my women. And there's some men too that are watching, I'm sure, but I love, you know, I mean, I work primarily with women, and that's the group that I'm focused on. So I thank you so much for being here. Does anybody have any questions? Oh, someone said links to schedule sessions. So do you want to let us know what that is?
Yeah, you can go to, I can type it in the message, and but it's pretty simple. It's mymoneyhealing.com. I'm going to pull up a URL for you. And I want to give a gift to everybody that's on with us, or just, you can share it with your audience. However, if you have a wider audience, share it with whoever you want. But I have a 7-day course called Heal Your Money Energy. It's all energy shifting techniques and methods to shift and heal your own money energy. And I'd love to gift that to everybody. So I will get that to you, Randina. So you can, well, let me see if I can pull up a URL for the download page. If not, I'll get it to you if you want to get it to people afterwards.
Yeah. Maybe so I can email it to other people on my list too.
Yeah, sure. Well, I mean, whatever works, whatever you want to do. Let me see if I can.
And then also I want to talk about having you come in. So the course that I'm doing is called Creating Your Life by Design, and we're taking our vision boards and feng shuiing them and then working on them month by month according to the Bagua. And so we're going to do chakra clearing, we're going to do balancing, we're going to do all of that. So when we get to the prosperity section, I would love to have you come in and maybe do a group Reiki healing session if that is something that you feel called to do. And also, you know, I want to offer everybody who signs up a bonus of having a session with you too.
That sounds absolutely fantastic. I would be delighted and honored to participate in any way that seems to work for what you're looking to do. Absolutely.
Awesome. Thank you. I know. Angie said, oh my God, I'm so excited for all this. Me too. It's so amazing. So fun. And isn't it amazing that we can dance together in this time and space and really just do it? It's like, you know, we had to come back lifetime after lifetime to break the mold of the old competitive, you know, being killed for speaking your truth. And now we're here as these beautiful, amazing beings that have learned to harness that energy and dance together.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I actually have learned, you know, just with competition and that kind of stuff, I've learned that if you want to bring something into your own life, a trick that you can use is blessing your competitor for the success that they have.
Yeah, I just talked about this 2 days ago.
Yeah, absolutely. If you see anything out in the world that is something that represents what you want to have in your life, say applaud, appreciate, say a prayer or you know, a blessing to that person for having that thing.
You have to, because the universe does not know that you're talking about somebody else in the first place. It believes you're talking about yourself. So if we're like subconsciously damning people, then we're damning our own selves. Right. And so the beauty is when we open up and we get in tune and alignment with who we really are and we bless others, not only does it affect them, but it also we think we're blessing ourselves. And so we continue to grow too. So it is amazing. And that's everybody, not just somebody that you want to be like, but literally everybody.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I even found my son was telling me a story about one of his friends who was like going downhill, and this kid's not very good. And at first I was like, yeah, he's probably going to have a hard time in life, you know, because of the path he's head on. And then I was like, wait, cancel that. I said, you know, I hope he really does see the light and he uplifts. And so then start blessing that energy. So at least he has the energetic potential to go that way, rather than like, you know, keeping him where he is. So, and I mean with everybody, like every commercial you see, every person you see, it doesn't even matter what it is. You have to create that opening so that you can do it for yourself, because we can't see pockets of energy that we don't ourselves have somewhere in our reality. Right. So if we're like blessing that pocket of energy, then it goes to that part of our reality that needs to be blessed also.
Yeah.
So it's beautiful. It's beautiful, beautiful. Okay, let's see if anybody has any questions. We can do a Q&A really, really quickly. So if any of you have any questions, just type them in the chat box.
And also, Randina, I know you had asked me to share some stories about the power of this work. What I wanted to do, if it's all right with you, is share some of the feedback that I've gotten from different people. Because for some people, what shows up immediately for them in that one session or the two sessions, or you know, whichever session they're on, for some people it's like cold hard cash that like just showed up in their life. And for some people, what has started is they no longer are fearful about money, you know? So I'd love to just read a couple of the things that I've gotten, a couple of the testimonials I've gotten back from people.
Also, I want people to know that it was both for me. Like it was cold hard cash and it was the energy, you know, moving too.
That's great.
Yeah, I know.
It's incredible. It's incredible. So Annabelle received a free train and bus pass and approvals for some much needed credit and a salary increase at her job. I think she had one session, and she like, and you know, it's just amazing to me. Like the breakthroughs are all about your energy. So the sky's the limit as to what you can experience.
Yes.
Ho, and I'm not sure if Ho is a male or a female, but Ho noticed immediate positive changes, felt immediately more brave about finances, and got a new car.
That's amazing.
Tyson said doing Money Reiki healing was the best decision he has ever made, and it worked fast for him, including receiving two unexpected checks. Maria became clear that she entered I love this one. Maria became clear that she entered a new agreement with the universe to be enriched with money as she acknowledged her worthiness. How freaking off the hook fabulous is that, right? Mm-hmm. Kieran had 3 new positive developments after the session. He or she didn't indicate what they were, but one of which happened within 2 hours. Yeah. Brenda found money in a box that she thought she lost years ago, and then she also won money in premium bonds.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It was just amazing. Rachel got a new job teaching in China, which was one of her dreams.
Yeah.
Jean-Paul went from no income to getting a steady job. And Gita's manifestations have been speeding up. She experienced many of them in a short time. And then this last one is about fear and worry. Deborah's usual feelings of fear and worry were replaced with peace and freedom as she was going over her budget. Like, what a gift.
I know. What a gift. That's when the massive shift's going to happen.
Absolutely. As soon as you aren't clinging to fear and worry and they're replaced with peace and freedom, that's when the money can start flowing because you're aligned with more money, right?
Yes.
Just incredible. That's why I love doing this. I love doing this more for other people than for myself. You know, it's incredible to be a conduit as you experience. And I bet you there's plenty of people that are here with us who are conduits for others in whatever ways that they are.
Everyone is. You have to choose to be that. And when you start choosing to be that, not only does your life become more blessed, but then you discover what your purpose is, because that really is what it is. It's that fulfillment, that heart-centered fulfillment. You can make a difference in someone else's life.
Absolutely. There's two questions that I'm seeing that I think are really important, good questions to ask. People are saying, how quickly does it work, or how many sessions does it usually take on average? You know, the thing is there is no average because everybody's energy is uniquely different. So it's really hard for me to say how many sessions somebody might try. What I might suggest is that you try just one session at first if you'd like, if you aren't sure, and you know, try one session and see how it feels and see what opens up for you. But because we all have different wounds and different blocks, it's really hard to come up with an exact answer. I
will answer that also if I can.
Absolutely.
So the answer to my answer to that is that it depends, like you said, it depends on you. It also depends, it starts working immediately. One session works immediately. If you are more earthbound and have more density and there's more concrete for the energy to get through, it's got to start breaking it up, right? If you are like on the verge and you're more open and it can get through some crack stream and then expand, it's going to do that too. So the answer to that is it works immediately. It just depends on how much in the density you are and how willing you are to be open and receptive to allowing that to happen.
Exactly. It does work, and it is working. It is clearing away the gunk, but how quickly you'll see the manifestations of that, you know, depends on your energy.
Yeah, and you have to be very conscious about what you're thinking. So usually most people that are in the density are not very conscious about what they're thinking. They are just on autopilot. So they're not going to see it as easily as someone who is very conscious and feels into their emotions and knows that they're a creator. So it's
and I'm sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just saying it's relative. I was done.
Yeah. And I do include tips to keep the energy going. I always include in the write-up tips to keep your energy aligned with money and continue to continue with the unblocking. And usually in the channeled message, there is usually some, like lately it's been sort of like homework exercises, you know, just things that you can keep doing to keep unblocking. So you have a lot of power and control in this, in how quickly your results happen. And the free gift, the 7-day energy shifting course that I'm going to give to you guys as well. Here's the thing about that. I love those exercises, and they were channeled to me. They're not coming from me, they're coming through me. So that's why I can be like, they're freaking awesome.
Yeah.
But you can go through the 7 days and keep doing it. Start from the beginning, or, you know, after you finish the 7 days, or pick which ones you love and keep using them. That will also, I mean, and for anybody who's not in a financial position to do Money Reiki right now with me, that's okay too. Use this gift. I have a lot of money free gifts that I give to people. So
yeah, that's what I did first because of the situation I was in. I did the free one first, and I started to notice a shift, and I was like, I have to do this. And so I did, and it was the best thing that I've ever done. Really.
That's wonderful. Yeah, and I freely share all of my free gifts with people. So I will also, for anybody who wants to take control and start working with your own money energy, whether or not you do a session with me, that doesn't matter. I care more that you have tools that you can use in your life. So I will also give you a link to several of my money energy shifting gifts.
Yeah, I love that.
Not just the one, so that you guys have what you need. Some of them are meditations that are embedded with energy. Some of them are actionable steps that you can take, energy shifting and action steps. All of them are meant, I write all my stuff in a way so that people, you know, life is busy these days, you know, we are really busy. So my stuff is written such that you just spend 10 minutes in the morning reading it and then practicing with the exercise, and then you go out into your day and you weave that exercise into all your daily actions, no matter what you're doing. So you can keep your energy aligned.
Yeah. Okay, someone said, is it okay to order a Reiki session to somebody as a gift with or without them knowing? Yes, I say yes.
It's better if they know, because Reiki is a consent-based energy. So
This is the thing about that. If the person is desiring it for them, then on some level they have to be desiring it for themselves. So if their higher self is inspiring that person to say, offer them this, and if they choose to take it, they can take it. So the higher self always desires that we awaken and we know. So there can't be even that asking if someone else. I call the angels to help other people all the time. They don't know that I'm doing it. It happens every single time. I mean, it could be from, I see an infant going into ICU, Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael heal, and I get a notice that they're healed. They didn't know that I did that. I didn't have to ask them. It just, if you're doing it in the purest and goodness of your heart, if they are on that level wanting to receive it, then they will accept it. If not, then it'll just pass them by. So that's where that comes in.
Right.
Okay, and so let's see, because I know traditionally they teach you, well, Reiki, you have to say, do I have permission, and all that other stuff. But we already have that love energy within us. Like, everybody desires to be on that level. So the only time it won't work is if they say no.
Right.
So
not right.
Yeah. So that's what I think. And I know because I've also done it for my daughter and then seen an incline in her, and still to this day I haven't told her that I did it for her. So I know that it does work. Okay, Maria said she signed up for 6. Idaly said she signed up for 3. So all the people are signing up, and it's the best thing that you can do. I promise you there's going to be posts in the group that people are saying like, oh my gosh, this was so amazing. Plus the free gift too. Like, I'm so happy that you're doing that because it's amazing. So Amanda said, what tips can you give us before doing a session?
You cut out there for 1 second. What was it?
So Amanda said, what tips can you give us before doing a session?
Actually, I send out a how to prepare for your session email about 2 days before, and that will let you know how to prepare. So I take care of you at the beginning, during, and after to make sure you have everything you need. If you sign up, you're going to get a welcome email, and that welcome email will explain to you what to expect next, what the process is, how it's going to happen. The only thing that you really need to know is you can be away. We're probably all in different time zones. The sessions happen twice a month. The first Tuesday of every month at 9 in the morning Eastern, USA Eastern time, and the third Thursday, did I say the first Tuesday of the month, and the third Thursday of the month at 7 p.m. Eastern time. I do that because there's people all over the world who receive these sessions. And the beauty is, if you're like in Australia or somewhere else where your time zone is just really different and you're either working or sleeping, it doesn't matter. It's perfectly fine. The energy will reach you no matter what you're doing, whether you're distracted or not. And if you are somebody who wants to pay attention to the energy, like Randina said, she does some of the times, you can tune in at that time for whatever time zone that is for you. And you can just sit quietly. There's nothing you need to do to assist the energy. The energy is going to happen for you no matter what. If you want to sit quietly in meditation, you can. If you want to be in contemplation, there's no right or wrong way to receive the energy. You can just trust that it's going to happen for your highest good and your best. And there's no way you can screw it up.
Yeah, plus you're working with the angelic realm and their guides and all of that positive energy too, and they know what to do.
Absolutely. I call upon Archangel Raphael because he is for healing. Archangel Michael, there's a lot of different aspects of source energy that are involved in this.
Yeah.
So yes.
I love it. Oh, it's so amazing. Okay, so thank you again, Lily, for being. Oh, did you want to say something?
Somebody asked a question that's actually a valuable question, so I think it's helpful to answer if you don't mind. No. Megan is asking if the sessions are they on a webinar or anything. It's remote healing. You don't have to be. We're connected energetically, and so I do the Money Reiki live, real time. But we're not connected on Skype or a webinar or a phone call or anything. So you can just be in your life doing whatever you want to be doing at that time, and the energy is sent to you remotely. And I do, it's a group healing session because we want to elevate the group. The more people that are involved in one session, as you guys may have heard, the more people who are in prayer at the same time, it amplifies that, the result. And so it's a group session, but I focus on every single person individually, one at a time, and they receive the energy for as long or as short a time as they need it. And the group is also receiving the energy at that same time. There's group energy being given, but each individual person gets it one at a time.
Yeah.
So the sessions take different amounts of time based on how many people are involved. But you're benefiting even when somebody else is in the hot seat in that moment receiving the energy. But you don't need to be connected in any way. It's just gonna, and that will all be outlined in the instructions and information. And so you'll be very clear about what to expect. And I have a frequently asked questions sheet as well that will go out to you so that you can read up a little bit about how the sessions are performed and what to expect.
Yes, I love them. Like I said before, I'm a lifer, like forever. I don't care how many millions of dollars I have. I will always do it.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Thank you so much again for being here with us and for working on my energy to help me to get to where I am too, because together we rise. Really.
Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for the gift that you are for all these amazing women. And assuming you said there are some men on the call, women and men people, thank you for touching their lives and for allowing me into your life in this way. I'm truly grateful, and I'm honored to come into your beautiful circle. I feel the energy here, and it's just, it's so loving and so incredible and so supportive. Thank you.
It really is. So we look forward to seeing you again, because I'm going to have you in the course with us, like, throughout the year. So
fabulous. And I will email you the link to the several money energy gifts so people can start using those. So if there's someone who's not able to do a Money Reiki session, that's fine. Use these gifts. Yeah. They will absolutely change your money experience.
It does. So thank you for having that. And I'm so happy that you've been here. So I love you all, and I'll post everything in the group or send it in an email. So stay tuned. Randina Marie, Queen of Rapid Transformation with Lily Jensen, Money Reiki Master, amazing woman that you are. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.